Have you ever noticed how the word wander and the word wonder are almost the same? That's not an accident. One is about moving through the world without a destination. The other is about what you feel when you do. And when you step back and look at it, that combination is exactly how we survived as a species. Not because we were the strongest, not because we were the fastest, but because we were curious. If early humans weren't curious, if they never wandered off, they never asked what's over there, never experimented, never followed the wrong trail, we wouldn't be here. Curiosity kept us alive. And in a quieter way, it still does. When you were a kid, you didn't try to be curious. You just were. The world felt open, alive, unfinished. You didn't need a reason to explore. You didn't need a payoff. You didn't ask if it was productive. You followed the pull. And that pull had a feeling to it. Wonder. Think about the stories we grow up with. Fairy tales, hidden worlds, impossible journeys, magic doors. Those stories weren't teaching us escapism. They were mirroring how a child experiences reality. Childhood is wonderful, not because it's easy, but because curiosity is still intact. And then something starts to change, slowly. You're told to grow up, to be realistic, to stop daydreaming, to focus, to specialize. Curiosity becomes inefficient. Wonder becomes childish. Wandering becomes irresponsible. And without realizing it, you begin closing doors in your own mind. By adulthood, most of us don't think we know everything, but we think we know enough. Enough to function, enough to get by, enough to survive. And that's where exploration quietly stops. Not physically, but mentally. Routines harden, assumptions settle. The mind becomes efficient but smaller. We call that maturity. We call that wisdom. But a lot of what we call adult wisdom is really just adaptation. It helps us survive inside the system we've built. Jobs, schedules, expectations. But survival isn't the same thing as being alive. That's why children still have something most adults don't. Not knowledge, but openness. They ask questions we've stopped asking. They notice things we've stopped seeing. They feel wonder without apology. And we dismiss it. We call it naive, immature, uninformed. But what if some of that certainty we gain with age is the very thing that made life feel smaller? Look at people who feel old at 40. Their curiosity died early. And look at people who feel alive at 70. They're almost always still curious. They read, they explore, they learn, they stay open. This isn't about intelligence. It's about whether the mind is still breathing. When curiosity fades, something else takes its place. Rigidity, cynicism, mental autopilot. You don't just follow routines with your body, you follow them with your thinking. You stop wandering. You stop wondering. And life starts to feel repetitive, flat, and strangely empty. Here's the part the world doesn't reward. Curiosity doesn't always pay. Wonder doesn't come with a paycheck. Exploration often has no measurable outcome. It looks like wasted energy. But you were never paid to play as a child, and yet those moments felt more alive than most of adulthood. Somewhere along the way, we decided that effort must justify itself, that play must be productive, that curiosity must be monetized. And in doing that, we lost something essential. We tell ourselves we're done playing, but the truth is, we're still playing. We're just playing a different game. A game of responsibility, a game of appearances, a game of survival. And we forget how to play for the sake of being human. Maybe growing older isn't about accumulating more certainty. Maybe it's about reopening what we closed. Letting yourself wander again. Letting yourself wonder again. Not to escape responsibility, but to reconnect with what responsibility pushed aside. If this feels familiar, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you remember, and remembering is where it starts. Thank you for watching.